Okay. Cool. So let's do it, guys. Thank you very much for jumping on. Just a reminder, we're doing this every Tuesday, 12 Eastern, 11 Central, 10 Mountain Time, where I'm at in Colorado. And just adding this into what we're doing, we're just trying to add as much value as we can. Of course, EXP, I would tell you guys, if you haven't, gotten into EXP's trainings, if you're new, definitely plug in, check your emails on Sundays, or go in your enterprise back office and you can see, the training calendar, because there's just, multiple classes every day, way more than we could ever, possibly get in on. I think it's crazy. But, Friday mornings, of course, is a great class, the iConversations with Icon agents. Monday night, Eric always leads us in a phenomenal training every week. We had a great one last night on agent attraction, but this is primarily geared, towards, your real estate production, that kind of stuff. We're trying to offer that every Tuesday morning. Just something that we could add here, whether we have 5 people or 20 people, whatever, we'll record these. And I would tell you guys, if you can, just put it in your schedule. There'll be some times you won't be able to be here, but the more people get in here and the more interactive it is, the better that'll be, and the better recording. And then it just adds value to everybody coming in, people you want to reach out to bring into EXP. It's just another tool that we can use to, help us with our own businesses, but things that we can share with other people as well. So anyway, this morning, we're mixing it up, how we do the training. Kathleen is going to do the training. Kathleen's down there in Orlando, Florida, and been with EXP for, a little over a year, right? But well, 2 years in January.
2 years.
2 years.
No,
coming
2
up?
years in December. It's coming
2
up
years
in
in December.
weeks.
Okay, good for you.
Yep.
Icon 2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years. So December 2019
Very
was when
cool.
I started. So I'll be 2 years in on December 10th.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
iconed both years. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just
good.
iconed while we were in Vegas.
Yeah.
So
just hit it. So
just
good
hit
for
it.
you. That's awesome. Well, do me a favor, if you could just kind of share some of your background, your story a little bit, and then open up that way, and then go into what your topic, what you want to talk about. So I'll just turn it on over to you. Okay.
Well, I'm relatively new to real estate, to be honest with all of you. My background is in accounting and construction. I'm still a licensed general contractor. So I kind of came at this from the perspective of a flipper investor. And I got my license to support my flipping business. And then I started to find I was having more fun with the real estate side of it than the construction side. And I definitely wanted to stop doing construction for others, because people can be a colossal pain in the behind, especially when it comes to renovating their properties. So when flipping started to get really hard, I decided to give this a try full time, see how much I liked it, and started full time with another smaller local Florida brokerage in 2018, January. So I'll be 4 years full time in the business as of this December. Spent 2 years there, started hearing about the EXP model partway through 2018, and talked to a bunch of different people, looked at all my options. I knew I was going to make a change, and I just didn't see or hear anything that caught my excitement level more than EXP did. Especially with my financial and accounting background and everything else. I just loved all the different ways to earn revenue and all the opportunities. So it was a no-brainer to make the change. In my first 4 years in real estate, I've sold $52 million. And my husband and I together are just over 75 mil. And a lot of that basically just comes from having a plan, executing the plan, and just not taking, no for an answer, I guess, when it comes to how you're going to make that happen. So what I want to talk about today, and is really important at this time of year, I have found every year up until now to be planning for my next year now, not waiting until January 1st, not waiting until the end of December, because real estate, when it comes to production, is all about your pipeline. It's not about what you do today. It's what you did 6 months ago or a year ago that pays off today. So I think a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, okay, well, I can get through the holidays and I'm going to sit down and figure out what my goals are for 2022. I think you get behind the 8 ball. I did this for my very first year in, and it has led to for me and Tony, exponential growth year over year. I wouldn't have Icon these last 2 years if I didn't start my planning well before the end of the year. So I sit down before Thanksgiving and I start setting up my production goals and how I'm going to get there. What's my roadmap to get from point A to point B? If you don't sit down and write them down and make yourself accountable to yourself, nobody else will. It's not a business where you have a mom or a dad or somebody to take you by the hand and lead you. If you need that, to be honest with you, you shouldn't be here. You need to be a self-starter. You need to go after it 100% for yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And that's just kind of the mantra I've been living by. This can kind of hold true even on agent attraction when you think about it, because if you have goals to attract agents and you come out of these Monday meetings with Sean and Jeff and Eric, and they give you all these great tidbits, if you don't sit down and have a plan for that, you're going to fail too. So this is all about planning and in the end, rewarding yourself for all your hard work. I did some really fun things in Vegas last week that I never would have done before, except for all my plans kind of came to fruition. And I rewarded myself and I looked at it and said, okay, I finally get to reward myself for all that hard work I put in. And trust me, it was so much fun. So if you weren't in Vegas, okay, I was actually trying to come up with a format for planning that would work for this. And they gave out a fantastic packet at Vegas in our sack. So whoever went, it's there. But I printed them out, cut them up, and I scanned them. And anybody that wants to give me, send me, have me write down your email, I can take the scan and send it to you if you don't have it. At the back of our packets, they had these great sheets, you can see, about ending the last 6 weeks of this year strong. And then a 2022, for me, this will be perfect guide that you can fill out yourself. Plan 5 SMART goals for business that'll keep you crushing it in 2022. So whatever format you come up with, and I'll email this to you guys if you want it. As you can see, I've already started to fill it out for my goals. So you want to set yourself up, number one, a production goal and a volume goal. So it's how many units, how much money. It's going to change by where you're located. Our average sale where I am is right around 350 to 400. So I take the low end of the range at 350 and say, I want to sell X number of houses at $350,000, which will result in X amount of commission. I write that down for myself in big bold letters. I post it up above my computer. And I also set up one for Tony. We kind of combine and whatever. The reason I keep it where I can see it is every month that goes by, I can see how I'm doing related to that production. Now, for me, Icon was a goal from the very start. That may not be true for all of you. Some people may be looking to just get 10 deals done, 12 deals done. It all depends on what your goals are. You may just want a cap, right? You need to hit that $3 million volume and cap. I'm a sky's the limit kind of gal. I don't see why everybody can't Icon. In my opinion, 30 to 32 deals is not that hard if you put the work in and you're willing to invest in yourself. So I put my goals, I make them nice and bold and courageous. I don't set my sights low, I set my sights high. So the goal for Tony and I this year combined was 65 to 70 deals and $25 million. We're going to hit the 25 mil. We're going to be a couple deals shy of the 60. Therefore, I'm going to Icon and he's not. Just because we were a couple short on that. So just because you set them lofty, now we'll reset those for next year, and I'm bound and determined he's going to Icon with me next year, come hell or high water. But set them big. You know, I've had a couple people I've gotten one-on-one calls with that have said, well, I'm really just looking to make 80,000. I think that's, you know, but they sound so tentative, right? And you say to yourself, why? Why set your sights low? Why be mediocre? If your brain's thinking, well, maybe I can do 80, then set your goal for 100,000. Maybe I can do 15 deals. Set your goal for 20. Set your goal higher than your brain's telling you you can do. And the reason I say that is it's like a lot of things in life, your body and your brain's going to kind of follow what you write down, what you vision. You know, so if you envision it, the rest of you is going to kind of follow. And at least what's always seen, it's like dream it, it'll be, make it happen. You have to envision it. So I always tell people, take whatever you think you can do and add 25% to it. Shoot above. Shoot above. It's going to force you to work harder. So the most important thing in our business from a production standpoint is where our customers, where we find our customers and lead generation. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to go about this. Everybody has a different formula for success. You could talk to 20 top producers, and I've done that in my area, whether they're with us, with Keller, Coldwell, local, whatever. I constantly talk to and interview other top performers to find out what they're doing versus what I'm doing. And it is interesting to find that everybody has a different roadmap. So my recommendation on my team and with my group is to pick the 5 things that you think you're really good at, the 5 things that you can get on board with for production. Don't try to shoot for 10 or 15. You're going to scatter out to too many, and you're going to be too distracted trying to manage things that you can't master. You've got to master something, right? So let's just say you are the bomb at social media and you can get clients for social media. Not something I'm good at, by the way. I'm not going to ever teach a social media class. I post just to be relevant, but I suck at it. But there are people who are amazing at it. They get clients from it. If you're mastering that, make that one of your 5, but don't ever try to take on more than 5. Okay. First and foremost for every agent, I believe, needs to be your referral and past client. Okay. That's number 1. If you aren't reaching back out to your past clients, loving on them, appreciating them after the deal is over, and asking for referrals from them, you are missing a good portion of your business. I can tell you right now, my goal for this year, second goal besides volume, was to hit a 50-50 spread between sellers and buyers. I wanted 50% of my business to be listings. I spent 4 years building towards that. I hit it this year. The reason I hit it was loving on my past clients to get their continued business, their friends and their family and their referrals. And that's why I made it there, nothing else. It's because those people are going to be your base engine and pay you back year over year over year. And there's different ways to do that, but don't be stingy. Okay. If you're an entrepreneur, and in this business you're working for yourself, you may be part of this wonderful, beautiful brokerage that we all love that helps drive our engine, but you're still in business for yourself. You're an entrepreneur. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, have an entrepreneur's mindset, which means you must invest in yourself. Whether you're going to go out and buy 50 Junior's cheesecakes from Goldbelly in New York, put your card on them and go hand them out to past clients. Go drive door to door to door, do pop-bys, do drop-offs, love on them. Okay. I can't tell you how much that has meant to my business. The relationship doesn't end with the sale. The relationship doesn't end with the transaction. So that is critical, a huge piece. I've been able to actually back off my lead buying and spend a lot this year because of that. So every little bit I've invested in them and asking for their referrals and thanking them has paid off. So I think that's first and foremost for every agent. The other 4 are going to come from whatever your comfort level is. Okay. There are folks that are out there doing the op city, all the different ones that you pay the referral fee at closing. I have 2 people on my team having a heck of a lot of success with op city. They'd rather pay at the end than pay as they go. And it's working for them. I have a young lady who started with me in February, brand new agent. She's just closed her 16th deal for the year, and she has 4 more pending.
Wow.
We sat down and we did her roadmap. Op City was one of her choices, right? Reaching out to her sphere because she was new, and a few other things that she has done. So that's one way, and there's several other places that you can do that. You've got, you know, Home Light and all sorts of other, you can Google them out there, places that you can pay your referral at closing. It's stiff, it's 30, 35%, you know, until you cap, it's going to really hurt. But the only way that you build business in this business is to do business. And sometimes you have to do business for a little bit less to build the reputation, the reviews, and the repeat business. I'll tell you my 5. So my 5 ways of generating business. Number 1 is what I told you, past clients asking for referrals. Number 2, I'm a huge realtor.com fan. The brokerage I was with before coming over supplied realtor.com leads as part of their business model at a nice 55-45 split. That never changed. We never capped. I count the 250,000 I gave that brokerage as my PhD in real estate. But yeah, I gave up a lot. I should have made a change sooner, but you know, it happens. So I do buy realtor.com leads. I convert them at around a 10% rate. Best conversion I have found in this business. They are good leads. They are ready buyers. Get a lot of 2 sides out of it because it's a lot of folks that are looking to sell also. Whether I 2-side it because it's in my area and I get the listing, or I get the referral. You know, one of the great things about this company is our referral program. So I made about 15 grand this year off referrals, and I didn't even really work that hard at it, but I didn't lose. You know, I get a buyer who's selling somewhere else in the country. And we're getting a lot of buyers Mecca-ing to Orlando. You know, take advantage of that. So realtor.com, I love it. It's a paid, you can pay it up front or pay every month. Pick a couple zip codes in your area to try out, but at a 10% conversion. And if any of you decide to do it and aren't doing it already and want to reach out to me one-on-one, I can tell you how to set it up to convert. And I'd be happy to do that with anybody on our group that wants to find out, because I have a little method to my madness on how I get them converting at 10%. And we are consistently making 10 times our money on realtor.com leads. Little hint, if you want to reach out to them, wait until the Monday after Thanksgiving. They do a Cyber Monday sale, and they usually give about 20% off. It can run anywhere from $100 to $500 a month for 40 leads a year. It just ranges depending on the zip code, the location, the average price point. Now is a good time to talk to them. The next thing that I do, and I find incredibly, oh, and don't forget, it depends on your state, but in my state, in Florida, we're allowed to have our mortgage lenders or other partners pay up to 50% of our lead gen. So I have a lender that pays half of my realtor.com spend. Okay. They also get the leads. They can farm the leads, and we partner up together. She's actually done a really good job. She's had a few that she's converted and handed back to me that we, you know, work together, obviously. So my third is farming. Okay. I am not a huge fan of cold calling and door knocking. It's not my favorite thing to do, but what I do is farm. I co-market with my favorite title agent, and we split it 50-50. I have 4 neighborhoods picked in my area where we monthly postcard farm for seller leads. You know, when I first started out in this business, I was really skeptical about postcards. I thought they can't work. You know, I take mine and throw them in the trash without even looking at them. There's no way they're going to work. And I was really skeptical. So a year ago, this title agent, sales rep for one of our local title companies came to me and talked me into giving it a try. And she goes, I'll split it with you 50-50, pick 4 neighborhoods. So we're farming 1,000 homes, the same exact homes every single month, picked neighborhoods where pretty established, great school district with a good probability of people aging out of them, you know, getting ready to sell, downsizing, kids are grown, that type of thing. Since her and I started the program, I've gained 8 listings. It cost me $150 a month.
That's awesome. So
I have found it works. The system we're using is called CoreFact, CoreFact. Easy platform to setting up your farm area. setting up your postcard. Again, invite your partners to split it with you 50-50, whether it be title, whether it be lender, whoever it could be your inspection company. You know, whoever you think would partner with you, they can split it with you. I think most states are the same. Sean, Jeff, you guys can weigh in. I'm not sure the rules in each state, so check it ethically. But even if you can't have somebody help you pay for it, I highly recommend it. They have a back on their postcard that has the QR code, find your home's value. I have impersonated the people that have reacted to that, and I get it. So what happens in Core Factor when they click on that QR code and get a value for their home, it captures their information, it sends it to you as a lead. You can then impersonate that person to see how Core Fact did. And I've checked every single time I've gotten a hit, and they do a fantastic, unlike Zillow, they do a fantastic job with valuation. The valuation is really very much on the money. So I always pick the card back that has that check your home's value with a pretty little map. It catches their eye, and it's so easy for them to click that with their phone. Even us older people and know how to do the QR thing now. So do it. And then the front can be anything you want. I just created mine for Thanksgiving, you know, a giving thanks, thank you for all your business, kind of thing. And you can switch it every month. Farm the same neighborhoods every single month. The rule of thumb, it takes 6 to 9 months of repetition to start getting people to react. I was shocked in the first couple of months, I got a few hits, but as I hit 4, 5, 6, they saw my face every month. Got the same thing, you know, they started clicking in for that code. And like I said, I picked up 8 listings from it in 12 months. So I will continue that program, and it's relatively inexpensive. So there's my top 3 right now, right? So referral business from your past clients and past clients repeat business. Realtor.com leads 10 times. I'm making 10 times. If you don't know how to do it, reach out to me. I can teach you how. I'm happy to do one-on-ones with anybody. Farming. Number 4, tried and true open houses. From here to eternity, open houses are a great way to build business. Number 1, you're going to host your open house, right? If it's your listing, great. If it's not, who cares? Go host the open house. I can't tell you how many neighbors and curiosity seekers stop in, and people think, oh, I'm not going to get this house sold because it's just neighbors. How many more listings can you get from those neighbors? I just had a house go under contract that I got from farming, my second sale in the neighborhood, and I have 3 neighbors now want to list with me next year. They came to my open house. I took the time to talk to them. I knew they weren't buying that house, but make the relationship, give them your card, follow up with them, take their information, stop by a week after the open house and drop off a box of cookies. Say, thanks for coming. You were interested in selling. What more can I tell you? Do all those things. That would be my number 4. I still believe to this day that it's a great way to build business, and it's a cheap way to build business. If you're a new agent, if your business is stalled a little bit, reach out to other EXP agents and ask to do open houses at their listings. Last but not least, reach back out to your sphere. Go back to your sphere. People forget to share with everybody. I take my cards everywhere I go. I hand my business cards out all the time. I hand them out to my doctor, my dentist, everybody that I can see. Hey, don't forget I'm an agent. Don't forget I'm a real estate agent. You know, in your community, if you're part of a community event, if you go do a 5K or a walk, or you're part of an organization, hand your business card out. All right, to everybody. Say, hey, don't forget I'm an agent. You know, hey, you may not be looking, but I'd love a referral. I can't tell you how many times it's paid off. Now those are my 5, okay? Because Realtor.com to me has, for just raw lead gen, has beaten everybody else hands down over and over. So I stick with it. I've tried some of the other, and I just haven't had the success. So I've narrowed down to that. Once you get some transactions under your belt and you're prolific enough, you can reach out to ideal agents, effective agents, expand your profile on HomeLight, and any of the other ones that required you to have a little bit more experience to be part of their platform. I just joined Ideal Agent 3 weeks ago, right before EXPCon, and I already have 3 referrals from it that I'm working. Again, it's a little bit stiffer, and it's 30% at closing, but sometimes you got to pay a little. I don't know any business in this life that you don't have to spend a little money to make money. So if you're willing to invest in yourself, it'll all pay off at the end of the day. Last but not least, I'm going to share my screen for a second, because this is something that folks don't do well. I came across this just in social media a few months back, and I saved it. And with other agents I've coached and talked to, I found this to be really true. So you're spending all this money for leads, whether you're using Make It Rain, Facebook boosts, you're boosting your properties for leads, you're paying for them from whatever platform, right? You're spending this money. Read this, guys. Okay. 48% never follow up. Okay. 25% of salespeople stop after the second contact. 12% only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of us make more than 3 contacts to a prospect. Now, the flip side of it, 2% of sales are made on first contact, 5% on third, 10% on the fourth, 80% of your sales are made on your 5th to 12th contact. This is absolutely true. I can't tell you how many clients I'm working with right now that I've been working with for a year or two, been dripping, following up with. When you give up, you're losing a big chunk of your business, because people may come in as a prospect and you go, oh, they're not worth anything. They got credit issues. They're not ready yet. They're whatever. You forget about them. Don't do that. That person could be ready in a year. I just had a young lady come back into my client base I showed properties to 2 years ago. She was in the middle of the divorce. Her credit was a little bit messed up because of it. She was dealing with a lot of stuff. But I was nice to her, and I gave her some tips, and I helped hook her up with my Lenders Credit Tools program and told her, I'll stay in touch with you. And I did. She just got pre-qualified for $500,000. She's getting remarried, she's pregnant, and she's so excited to buy a house. If I hadn't kept up and followed up with her, that's a potentially $15,000 commission I walked away from. So this chart here is so true. And I was just talking to another one of my teammates the other day, and he admitted to me how much he sucks at follow-up. Follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. You can automate it in KV Core. You don't have to spend a lot of time on it. The automation is there. Take the KV Core class. It's fantastic. You can automate it. You can set it to run. And there isn't one person in my KV Core, and I have over 1,000 people in there, that doesn't get listings emailed to them. Even if they never ever spoke to me, they could have come in as a lead. I know what house they clicked on. I know what house they looked at. I can set up a search alert based on that. There isn't one until they unsubscribe or they close and ask me to turn it off that doesn't get listings emailed to them. That's a touch. That's a 3, 4, 5, 6 day a week touch, depending on when new listings that meet their criteria drop. Aside from that, set up the behavioral alert, set up the automation. And when you see something really cool come in that you think could be beneficial to buyers and end users, pop it and do a mass email. Say, hey, I was thinking of you. Thought this would be a good read. So that's my little, I guess, 30 minutes. I'm out.
There's so much stuff there.
Sorry.
No, that was awesome.
It's the New Yorker in me. I can like blah.
Yeah, no. It was awesome. There's a lot of nuggets there, a lot of gold there. Let me open it up real quick. What just throw out some comments, guys, or questions or thoughts.
If I could, Jeff.
Yeah,
Kathleen,
a lot of good stuff there.
I've used realtor.com. I have not had the success that you've had in conversion. In fact, just recently, I told them I was dropping them because I wasn't getting my ROI back out of them. I didn't feel. And now some of it could be me, for follow-up and some of those things as well. Every single prospect gets put in my KV core with a follow-up system, drip campaign, all the things you talked about. But I'm just not getting the conversion, and I'm probably not. So I'd like to reach out to you, talk about it a little bit, because I had a pretty hefty spend that I was doing on a monthly basis and should have been getting, 120 leads a year or so out of them, and with 3 different zip codes I was in. So I'd like to learn what you're doing to see if I can change that format, because I'd like to share those leads even with my team, as we progress forward and do different things. So I'd like to learn a little bit about that. And I know Mary's had success with Realtor and Zillow, because we've talked about that as well. So if we could get some time, on your calendar, I'd love to chat with you about that.
Maybe
Absolutely.
one thought that I had, Kathleen, on that, just rather than have, 15 people reach out to you to do 15 individual trainings on how you're converting 10% of your realtor.com leads, maybe we could set up another training like this another Tuesday and have
That'd
you
be
do
awesome.
that for everybody.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, I would
because
be happy
they're
to
open
do
to
that,
do
because
that.
then I could
That'd be
share my
awesome.
screens and show you what I do.
That'd be a
Yeah.
great way to do that. We'll talk about that. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe in the next few weeks we can get that set up, and that'd be awesome. So
And one last thing, Kathleen, what's your last name? Because I did not write it down.
Harrison, Harrison. Yeah, I just realized my thing says Kathleen and Tony. I have to figure out how to change that.
No, that's okay. I thought it was Harrison, but I just wanted to
Harrison, yep.
verify. So thank
Yep,
you for
yep.
that. And thank
Yeah.
you for sharing all your nuggets as well.
Absolutely. And one of the things I know we're going to jump into, we'll do a realtor.com training. In the meantime, number one, make sure that you're in zip codes, stay in the hottest zip codes for your area. So if it's a top 5 market, it's a top 5 market for a reason. That's where people are looking to move. You'll have more success, right? And then do a cheaper adjacent market. So quick example for me is hot market for me is Oviedo. It's where I live. It's a top 5 market in Orlando, but we have an adjacent zip code that is the same school district, but a different zip code, and they charge half for that one. And everybody kind of flows between. So I play between those two. So pick a hot market, number one, and make sure you have the quick auto respond email and auto text set up in realtor.com. It's faster. It's the fastest touch that you can give. It's faster than you can call them. So make sure you set that up. And then if they respond to that realtor.com portal, right, I just morph them over to KV Core on my own, but they might talk to you real quick there. And I find they do. So those are 2 quickies for you.
So you don't have your, well, I know we want to do this in training, but I have them set up to where Realtor, the Realtor responds, and then they're automatically loaded in my KV Core.
Yep.
Through their system.
So you do both the Realtor text and email response?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. All right. So we'll get into more detail how to keep converting them higher when Jeff sets it up. And Jeff, I'm around all through the holidays except for the week after Christmas.
okay.
Otherwise, I'm here.
Going there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
So, one of the things, when you mentioned the farming, 1,000 postcards, because I haven't done that for a long time, but it makes me think about that Core Fact. You said that's the company you use?
Yep. That's the one that it was actually recommended by the title individual that I partnered with. She liked to use it. I like it actually because the tool for to set up the neighborhoods of the farming, you can do a geographical area or set up specifically. It's easy, and then you can kind of label it all, and then depending on how you select it each month.
Yeah.
I've been happy with Core Fact, and I like because when somebody clicks on that QR code, it grabs all their info and returns it to you in their platform. And it's really easy to move them into KV Core from there. But it's, I'm getting, and price wise, they're constantly putting out discounts. Like I just ordered November with 15% off. So they're constantly promoting and stuff.
Right.
It's a good site. So I like Core Fact a lot.
That's awesome. And if you guys have never worked with your title companies, like title reps, the marketing reps at the title companies, like I know I've done a few with some here in town, and they're awesome. I mean, because they can pull up those demographics. They can find that neighborhood where, whatever, here's the average age of the kids, and here's how many kids they have per household, and here's the, whatever. And so you can just tell, kind of like what you're saying, like they're, chances are in the next 2-3 years, a lot of those people are going to be downsizing. They're going to be, you know, they're retiring, all that kind of stuff. So, and there's so many different demographics depending on what you're looking to do, where you can get that stuff mailed out to, you know, rather than just a shotgun blast. It's more of a targeted approach, and your title company, a lot of the marketing reps can help you with that.
They
So,
do. They're fantastic.
yeah,
Like
they're
Jen
awesome.
helped me develop the entire list.
Yeah.
And we went and picked the neighborhoods and we really researched them. And then she drilled it down and she made it was the right age group, had been in the house for at least 3 years or more, that type of thing. So
Yeah.
you're not going after renters. You're not, you know, that type of thing. Now, alternatively, she just put a list together for me of absentee owners in this demographic area. And I'm going to actually send letters out. I have a couple young girls who want to make extra money for the holidays that are going to address them all for me. But I got a big list of absentee owners that we're going to hand out a holiday newsletter with a, you know, that Jen helped me create in her marketing platform with recipe and, hey, you know, you're looking to get the investors who are starting to sell quite a bit. I sold 3 houses this year for an investor who was divesting her portfolio. They're out there and they're seeing that this market might shift and it's a good time. It's a good time to target those absentee owners. And like I said, he said, your title company's marketing reps can help you put together that list. And then from there, just get somebody to help you start addressing and stamping envelopes. But they'll open the mail, right? They'll open the mail, especially if it's hand addressed.
It's handwritten, you know, if it's a sticker that you put on there, it's just a lot of times that's straight to the trash. I mean, that's what happens. So,
right. So handwrite it, put a cool newsletter in, something fun for the holidays, and just say, hey, I'm your local area expert. I can sell your investment property. Did you realize how much prices are up? We're 26% up year over year here in our area. So put stats in, you know, we're up X amount. Interest rates are going to start going up. This is good. This market might flip in the next 24 months. Now's the time to sell and start grabbing some of those investors, because some of them are aging out. And like the lady I just sold 3 for, she is 75 and she's ready to be done. And there's a lot of folks like that own 2, 3, 4, 5 properties and are ready. Go after them.
And a lot of those, they own them outright, or they over they've had them for
she
years.
Did.
I mean,
she owned them all for
it's that much
cash.
easier of a sale, you know, in that sense too. You know, they'll take whatever, that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that's a great return on your money. I mean, if I figured that out right, I mean, you paid, you know, about $1,200 in marketing with that, maybe give or take whatever, but 8 listings out of that, your average price about 84 grand return in commission. So
absolutely,
that's a good.
Well, one of them was an $800,000 listing.
Like that just went up then. Yeah, that's good.
So, you
that's
know,
awesome.
it's sky's the limit. I mean, and you know, just don't be afraid to try it. But if you're going to try it, I highly you commit to a year. The only reason I'm saying is it does take some time. It's repetition. These people see your face over and over again. It's like having your face on the yard sign. It's recognition. So once they recognize you, and I do that because they're in the neighborhoods where I live, so they see my face on the yard sign, then they're getting postcards from me. They see that I've sold multiple houses in the area. It just starts to build off each other. You do have to give it the time. I always tell people this business is a 6 to 12 month pipeline commitment. It's, you know, every so often we get the joyous one and done, right? The guy that calls you out of the blue, or the lead that comes in, they want to see a house and that's the house they buy, right? That's the bonus. That hardly ever happens. It's a 6 to 12 month pipeline. You've got to be building your pipeline right now for the sales you're going to have next summer and fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why you want to commit to it today. Like on my list I started filling out the list for this week. I decided after EXP I'm going to get express offers certified because I haven't done that yet. But finalize my 2022 lead gen budget and plan. How much am I going to spend on leads? Where am I going to spend it? What's my plan? I'll be calling realtor.com the Monday after Thanksgiving and finding out what deals I can get, because I've had 8 slots expire this month. By the way, I let them expire. The reason I let them expire is you can get a better deal on the new ones because they jack the prices up you on the renewals, right? Let them expire. Go get the good pricing when they're having sales, which is always the end of a month. And like I said, the Monday after Thanksgiving is their best sale of the year by far. And when you do a new slot with Realtor, they tend to surge you with a bunch of leads in the beginning to get you excited. That's why I let them expire. I don't ever renew a slot. I go back in and redo. planning our December holiday party. I got one more slot to fill out, but now's the time because that's going to be your pipeline. And if you wait to start, the people that are coming in now, the people that are looking now are, most of them are buying next year, right? You'll get some people going to buy over the holidays, but you're setting up your pipeline now. Now's the time to do it. So
For sure. And that, you know, that consistency, that, you know, just like that when you shared your screen there, I mean, you know, the, 80% after what, you know, the 5th to the 8th touch or whatever it was. I mean, that's the follow-up is key. The longest I ever had, there was one couple, Gary and Deb Grissom. I remember their name, Gary and Deb Grissom. And I remember it was 8 years. They'd come in as a lead and I called them up and, we're just looking around, whatever. And one thing I did learn all the time, I would always ask them, well, you know, if you were to make a move, when would it be? Well, you know, maybe a year out from now, we're just getting started. When would be a good time for me to follow back with you? I always ask that question. And then I learned from Craig Proctor, cut it in half. Well, why don't you call us in 8 months? I'd call them in 4. Well, call us in a year. We'll see where we're at. I'd call them in 6. Now, you know, always cut it in half because you never know, you know, so plans change, life happens, that kind of stuff. So we cut it in half. But I remember just, you know, always follow them back. You know, other than the phone call, they were just on an automated drip campaign that went on for 8 years. Literally, I mean, it just
8 is a long time.
It was just a monthly newsletter that was just emailed out automatically through my website that I had. And I didn't do anything with it. I didn't write the newsletter, nothing. It was just automatically done with the company that did my website. But I remember that all of a sudden, you know, I get this call and they're like ready to sell their home. I go to meet with them. Their next door neighbor's a realtor. He's all over them, you know, wanting them to use him. Their best friend at church is a realtor. He wants them to use them. They're like, there's no way we couldn't use you. You've been talking to us for 8 years, you know, like it just paid off. And it turned into about, they sold and bought. It turned into about, you know, it was about 35,000 in commission between the two houses. It was big, you know, whatever. And it was just, and it was all automated and one phone call about every 6 to 8 months. I mean, just whenever they would tell me to follow back, you know, and it was simple, you know, but it just paid off, you know, that consistency. Did it. So, you know, again, most people wouldn't make the first call to begin with. And then after that, it's like they would lose track of them, you know? So
I had one that took 3 years.
Yeah.
And it turned into a $800,000 listing sale and they bought $1.5 million home.
Mm-hmm.
What if I hadn't followed up on the 3 years? What if
Yeah.
I had given up on them? There was a while they went ghost. I didn't hear a word from them, but I never stopped. See, people get discouraged when people ghost them.
Yeah.
People think, oh, they're gone. That's not the case. You're not the first thing in their mind. They have family, friends, work, life, whatever. You're the last thought on their mind. But if you've stayed in front of them, that you'll be their first thought when they decide they're ready. So that's my point, is stop getting offended when they don't. Show them 10 houses and you don't hear back from them. You're like, ah. When I first started this business, I get so discouraged. I'm like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And I found out, I checked myself and said, wait a minute, it's not about me. I didn't do anything wrong. They just weren't ready. And I'm not that important to them, right? You'd like to be everybody's first thought in the morning, right? Every client you have, the first thing, hey, I got to call Kathleen today. No, you're way down there. So your job is to stay in front of them. Your job is for them to think of you first when they are ready.
Yeah.
If you do that, that pays off. I would have probably lost a third of my business, at least a third of my business in the last 3 years, if it wasn't for follow-up. If it wasn't for that person I'd been in touch with for a year, 2 years, kept in front of,
Yeah.
past clients, everything else, that is critical. And we all get offended a little too easy. We all get discouraged a little too easy. And that's not how you succeed.
Yeah.
You power through that. You blow through it and say, this isn't about me, it's about them. And if you stay in front of them and you continue to make it about them and not yourself, that's, I think, where it pays off at the end of the day.
For sure. For sure. Other comments, other thoughts, other questions for Kathleen? Anybody? A lot of good stuff. I got some more thoughts here, but I want to open it up. I don't want to be the only one talking. Marcy, did you have I think Marcy, you had your mic open a little bit ago.
What was I going to say? Kathleen, all your information is so great with me being a brand new agent. I did do the 1,600 self-addressed envelopes. I hired my niece to do it with our really big neighborhood. It's a really sought after community in Fulshire. But what I grabbed from you is that I need to do additional follow-ups. And I always thought negatively about those postcards, but I guess if they just keep seeing your face, that makes sense. because my dad always told me, you know, do things to where, or Buffini with my dad, do things to where you are the one that they immediately think of when they need a realtor or a service that you could provide them, like a list of trades. So
Yeah, absolutely.
a lot of that, I would love to talk with you about quite a few of these points if you wouldn't mind. Thank you.
There's some
Not at all.
things of value that you can give Marcy, like, or just, just again, a postcard, not just with your face and, hey, hire me, I'm your local realtor, whatever. I mean, it's all good, but things that they, there's certain things you can do where people, again, some of them are going to just throw it away. But, out of 1,000 people that she's sending to, she picked up 8, which says, that's not that good, but that's 84,000 in commission.
Yeah.
We'll take that, whatever. And you will have those people that, all of a sudden 3, 4, or 5 months into it, all of a sudden, there's a job change coming up or whatever, something that happens. And, all of a sudden now they're thinking about making a move and they put that postcard on the fridge,
Yesterday, what I spent time doing is my sphere. I was going to, what is it? It's some site where you could do a home valuation. And I was sending them my A's and A pluses and B's. Hey, just wanted to let you know what a great investment you have. Here's your current estimate on your valuation of your home. So if you're considering selling or know of anyone, I'd love to be the one that you refer.
Definitely.
And that's perfect.
Awesome.
It's just consistency, right? It's continuation. One time only isn't going to do it. It's like calling that lead one time. 9 times out of 10 or more than that, 99% of the time, you're not going to be successful. It's the repetition. It's the repetition and showing yourself to be an expert in the area and just over and over and over again. And like Jeff said, add some value. Like you said, home, a home valuation or any different way you could think of vendor recommend. Something, anything, I think I'm going to try out. Somebody gave me a good tidbit in Vegas, because I do the postcards and postcards, is to go ahead and order a cool refrigerator magnet and hand them out, send them out, something they can put up on their fridge and remind themselves.
I used to do that. I mean, it worked for me. I did it for a long time. I haven't done it for a while, but I, like around here, the Broncos are like, it's Bronco country. But and I remember doing the football schedule, but it was a magnet, and people would. People put it on their fridge. It'd sit there for 4 months, 5 months. It'd be on there, and of course my name. And
I like the ones that are the clip that you stick on the refrigerator.
There are things you can do like that has some longevity to it.
And don't be surprised that some of the good old tried and true things still work. We all are so caught up in today's technology and thinking everything is about social media, but not necessarily. Don't forget that we all still kind of live our lives not a heck of a lot different. Get up in the morning and everybody puts their stuff up on the fridge, whether it's for your kids or your grandkids or whatever. Think about the way you walk through your life on a daily basis and realize most of us still do it the same way. So pick things that speak to the stuff that we all do every day, and so and it's not always okay. One last thing, because I'm so guilty of this. Overthinking things. I am so guilty of thinking of things in my brain that I think would work, and then thinking till I've lost the opportunity. I've lost the window, right? Thought it through too much and it sat there on my computer and I never took action. Stop overthinking. If something sounds like a good idea, just take action and go do it. Action's what brings results, not thinking about it. So action. If you decide that door knocking is your thing, put on your pants right now, go out and start door knocking. Like now, don't say, I have to have the perfect flyer. I have to have the perfect handout. Just go do it. So whatever your do is, right? Whatever you decide for yourself is going to be your things, just do it. Don't think about it for the next 3 months and then come back and say, why am I not producing? Call those 20 prospects every day. You say, I'm going to get my CRM and I'm going to call 20 of those prospects that haven't ever talked to me. Every day I'm going to call 20 of them for the next 2 weeks. Do it. Don't think about it. Don't formulate it. We spend so much time making plans and not enough time actually doing. Yeah. And I think that's a huge thing that gets in the way of a lot of people. fear of doing, or just getting frozen. Unfreeze, force yourself out the door, go, and just go do it.
There's a lot of things you can do with, again, your number one thing, referrals and past clients. I had a 7-year drip campaign for past clients, because what do most people do every 7 years on average is they make a move. And that's why it was set up for 7 years. It was just automated. It just went into my thing, and like every third email that would go out, now you do email, text, whatever, but it would ask for, hey, the highest compliment I can get is when you send me a referral, whatever. And I would offer to, I'd take care of those people that referred people to me, outside of the deal, after the fact. I'd give them a $100 gift card or whatever, or something, a big thank you. And just people,
It's funny. I had a good comment, Jeff, recently, because I had the family of mine that I was telling you about, that I sold their house for 800 and they bought $1.5 million house in Windermere, and are going to want to sell that house next year with me. They sent me 2 referrals this year.
Yeah.
They came in within a week of each other. The wife sent me one and the husband sent me the other, both work associates of theirs. 2 great referrals. One bought for $500,000, the other bought for almost $700,000. Before I liked them so much, and I knew these were going to be good deals, before I even had these 2 referrals under contract and going to closing, I sent them a $300 gift card to an amazing local restaurant that's a 5-star that everybody loves here.
Mhm.
And I knew that Mike loves his bourbon. So I bought him a nice rare bottle, $300 bottle of Blanton's, ordered it, and I had it shipped directly to their house. I didn't drop it off. Individual package, thank you note, thank you for the referrals. His comment to me, he took it out, I took a picture of it and texted to me and said, oh my gosh, one of the best gifts I've ever gotten. I have to find more friends to refer to you if this is the reward.
You're number one on their list with the next person they hear that's looking to sell. That's what happens.
Yeah.
And it comes right
So
back. For sure.
Don't be cheap.
No.
So many times people are so cheap, it pays. It pays for itself in the long run. And I found it the first couple of years I was grinding it out, making sure I was making the money, making sure it's going to be okay. In the last 2 years, I realized how much more important it is to loosen those purse strings a little bit, give a nice gift, do something nice, go out of your way for people. I've had clients call me, they've closed on a house, they've sold and they've moved out, and a package comes after they've left, right? Oh, Kathleen, I had a pack, it was supposed to be redirected. It didn't. I go, I'll go get it and send it to you. Go, I pick it up, I package it up, and I send something with it, a gift card, something. Thanks again for your business. Think of those things. And trust me, it does pay. I can't tell you the wonderful referrals and repeat business I've had this year. It does make a huge difference.
For sure.
One
of the best things we did, and this has probably been, 9-10 years ago, and it's a lot cheaper to do it now. I will tell you, you can find like local movie theaters. And we did a Saturday, it was a Saturday morning movie. And we invited all of our past clients and, people in our database and whatever. And we rented out the theater, and we did like a family type movie, like a Disney movie of some sort, whatever. So everybody brought their kids. And it was like, I don't know, it was $300 or $400, to just reserve the theater. Everybody got in, and then I think everybody got like, we had like, everybody got like, I don't know, like a bag of popcorn, a drink, and something else. And like, we just, and we got so much, everybody came. And of course I had like we had these bags that we gave to everybody with, of course, here's my card, here's the thing, it's all the stuff. And that paid off. And you can do that now. Honestly, there's a lot of theaters out there now, especially like local, smaller theaters that, I know even 6 months ago, AMC all across the country, for $99, you could rent the theater, and seriously, because they're just trying to get people back in. So, and some, they had a list of all the movies that were currently playing, but then they had a list of all these other movies that you could just pick a movie. And right now with Christmas time coming and stuff, like even to do something like that, it's just a quick thought, but
that's a great idea.
Yeah. You do a Saturday thing, invite them all in, just have some fun and, whatever. I know right here in town, in fact, last weekend, I've got a guy, he's at Coldwell Banker, and Coldwell Banker here in town just did that, and had 400 or 500 people there. But you could do it individually on your own, for yourself, or partner up with a couple other EXP agents in your market and combine it, do it together, whatever, cut the, minimize the cost on it. There's just things you can do like that.
I'm writing that down.
The Thanksgiving pie drop off, everybody Thanksgiving pies. Halloween, I know there's a big group here that went and bought like, so you can go to Walmart and buy a pumpkin for $5. So they bought like, 100 pumpkins and, did like a pumpkin giveaway. Like everybody come over. It was a Saturday morning thing. They had like, apple cider and all that kind of stuff and just, gave away pumpkins to, here's all the kids. And they're taking all these pictures and social media, blasting it out there, posting just things you can do like that don't cost much, but the return on those is huge, what that could turn into. Because they're thinking about you like, man, Kathleen, she's the one, she's awesome. I mean, that just word gets out. So a lot of things you can do, guys, to get it. The key right now, though, I think going back to the very beginning of this is thinking through next year now.
Yeah.
Start working on it now. Most people, here's what happens. I mean, they just, number one, they won't even write down goals at all, and you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time, right? You don't want to be flying by the seat of your pants, just set some time aside to start working on that and thinking through those goals for 2022. It can be your best year ever, without question, for all of us in all different areas. But don't wait till, December 30th, January 2nd and 3rd to start thinking, what should I do this year? It's just now is the time to start planning on it. In December, it's always a little bit slower month. As far as real estate goes, it's a great time to dig into that, but write them down, print them out, talk to other people about them, and then put them up there where you can see them and read through them every day. You might have just a list, 5 things, whatever it is, and put it on your bathroom mirror and literally read it out loud. I just think there's something about reading that stuff out loud and holding yourself to it. It's really easy. After about a week, you're not even thinking about it. That's what most people do, right? But put it up there and read it out and talk to the people about it and watch what happens, but aim high. I like that too,
Definitely.
Shoot a little bit higher than
yeah.
what you think you can do. Push yourself.
Yeah.
Because you'd be surprised what you can do, What's that saying? And I don't know, Sean, you might know, it's like, most people overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 5, whatever. And I think it's just, I would set a 1-year goal, but even a 3-year goal and a 5-year goal, with some of this stuff, and just kind of be thinking ahead with your real estate business. What do you want that to look like? We ask that all the time. I ask it every time I meet with an agent to show me XP, 5 years from now, where do you want to be? The perfect world. What would your business look like? And then sometimes ask them what the plan is for that. And, they have no plan. They have no plan.
True.
So how can we help them with that even, as you're reaching out to some agents? But anyway, I appreciate it, Kathleen. That was awesome. Seriously. Any other last thoughts? We'll wrap it up here, guys. It's right at 11 o'clock. So, we'll have this recording up onto the page. Keep coming back. We'll be back next Tuesday. I forget. I think is it Darian? I don't know. I got to double check. I'm kind of scheduling them out here, but we'll get you back, Kathleen, sometime in the next couple of weeks if that's cool. We'll
do a realtor.com specific one. Absolutely.
That would be awesome.
For anybody that
focus in on that.
Yeah.
Maybe what you do, Kathleen, also because a lot of people were throwing out their email address and stuff in the chat, but maybe you can take the documents that you've got and upload them into Freedom Team. You can create a file in there. And
Okay.
it'll create a post that Kathleen uploaded, whatever, and now everybody has access to it.
We'll do. Yep.
That would be great.
Perfect.
So just watch for that, guys, and
then find me on Workplace too, and happy to chat with you on Workplace. And if anybody wants to do anything one-on-one, I'm happy to as well. So just reach out to me, and happy to help anybody go kill it next year. Have fun.
That's awesome. So we'll be back next Tuesday. iConversations on Friday. Next Monday, we'll be back with, the agent attraction training with Eric. That's every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central, 6 Mountain Time. That's always good. If you have an interest in reaching out to agents, it is a great time to do that. November, December, the 2 biggest months of the year for that. So if you want to add that in, be sure to reach out, watch some of those recordings. We'll put the last night's recording will be up there today. So a lot of great things going on. So anyway, Kathleen, again, thank you very much. Thanks everybody for being here. Okay. Totally appreciate you jumping in. Have a great day. Have a good rest of your week.
Thank you, Kathleen. That was a great call.
Yes.
All right. Kill it,
very well.
everybody.
Thank you.
Go get it.